Welcome to HR and Not Sorry, where we give honest answers to people problems. Today's quick episode, it's about 5 minutes long, and it's called What is HR and Why You Might Need It, even if you think you don't. My guest is Samantha Newton, founder of Magenta HR and a CIPD fellow with 25 years of hands-on experience from shop floor to boardroom. Sam's goal is simple, to make HR human. She also writes Foyt's weekly bite-sized articles and monthly deep dives, plus 2 informative and real situation advice newsletters called Core Insight and Mismanaged. You can expect practical tips that you can use right away, like how a one-page contract can head off most paid disputes. Whether you're about to hire your first helper or juggle several freelancers, Sam will show you that HR is basic business hygiene and not a corporate luxury. So grab your Yorkshire tea and let's get started. Samantha Newton, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Sam. So my mission is quite simple. I want to make HR feel human, not horrifying. I think historically, in my experience, HR has had a bad rap. So usually HR only turn up to fire people, which for me needs to just be binned. It should be about support, not sackings. I think that's really important. I like to think that I turn legal waffle into plain English, so owners know exactly what to do without reaching for Google at 11 o'clock at night or a packet of paracetamols to get through the day. So for me, positive HR equals stronger businesses. It makes happier people, fewer disputes, and more time for business owners to actually do the work that they love. So the bottom line for me is that I'm here to re-educate business owners, showing HR as a practical toolkit and not as a punishment squad.
That's amazing. I think that's exactly what small business owners need. For those of us who think that HR is just something big companies deal with, what exactly is HR really?
Wow, so that's quite a big question, Sam. So for me, HR is about looking after the humans. So for me, that means hiring, paying, developing, and fixing problems before they blow up. You know, it's not just the corporates. I mean, Sam, did you know that 99% of UK businesses are small businesses? So almost everyone listening is the HR department. So it matters because to give you a feel of the stakes, last year the average unfair dismissal payout was about £14,000 and the largest topped £170,000. I mean, that's huge for a small business, huge. So for me, it's around, don't skip the HR basics. If you do, it's like driving without a service on your car, which, okay, will be fine until, say, the car breaks down. So I think you need to change, or business owners need to change their mindset about that HR can be really positive and a powerful tool to support the business.
Absolutely. It definitely sounds like a mindset change that is needed. So why is HR still important for someone in the Foyt community, like a yoga teacher, a massage therapist, or someone hiring their first assistant?
Okay, so the law still applies to everybody regardless of your role. And if you have one helper in the HMRC's eyes, that could be deemed as an employee, which means there's contracts, there's holiday rules, there's right to work checks, all those still matter. So you have to practice what you preach. I mean, the Foyt community sell well-being, so HR is how you protect your team's well-being and your studio's good vibes. If you're a freelancer and have set hours and you wear, or the freelancer wears your logo t-shirt and can't send a substitute, then the HMRC may say, well, actually they're an employee, which means there's backdated tax, backdated holiday pay for you, etc., which, could be quite a shock for that small business owner. Build once, have the foundation so you can scale easily. Nail the basics now, and then later on, when you decide to develop more or scale that business, you'll be in a really, really good place.
It's really interesting. It's something I hadn't even thought about. especially with just someone wearing a T-shirt with your logo on. So I think it's really important that people are aware of those things. Um, for someone that doesn't have their HR bits in the right place, even if it's just them and a freelancer, what can actually go wrong?
So again, there are quite a lot of things that could go wrong. And I'm not saying it to scare anybody, but I think once you're aware and you know, you can look out for it. So as an example, if you skip a written agreement, which in, I suppose, plain terms is a contract of employment, a tribunal can add up to 2 to 4 weeks pay per worker to any award. Also, if you miss a simple passport check, you could owe up to £45,000 per person as a fine, which is
Wow.
phenomenal if you miss taking a picture and dating it. Also, data blunders under the ICO, even a small breach can cost several £1,000s if you're not as confidential as you thought you were. So having those systems and policies in place to protect you is imperative. And also in the tight well-being circles or wellness circles, one messy fallout and an Instagram post can scare off half your client list overnight. So it's around, really looking after yourself and ensure that you have the basics in place so that these, I suppose, when things go wrong, don't go wrong.
Absolutely. I think it's good to sort of be aware of all these things before you even start out with your business, because else they just sort of jump at you from all directions that you don't even know they existed. I didn't know about anything
Exactly,
about like the whole
exactly.
passport and having a photo. I didn't even think about that, to be honest.
And unfortunately, if for instance there is a breach, as in a small business owner hasn't done these things, saying that you weren't aware of it is not going to be a good enough excuse. So, really simple things can help you in the longer term.
So then it definitely makes sense to get your ducks in a row, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So for someone who's listening and now suddenly thinking, ooh, maybe I do need to sort this out, what's one small step that they can take today?
So I've got a few small steps if that's okay. So the first one is you can download a free contract of employment or a contract template. If you just Google a cash return statement template, usually it's the first result, and there is an agreement that you can download and you can just populate your information. And this will cover you as a business for an employee, as an example. So something free, and it doesn't take that long to do, which is great. The next is with right to work documentation, ensure you're compliant. Take a picture of someone's passport to ensure that you have everything that you should do. And then, print it out at a later date, sign it and date it. 60 seconds could save a lot of painful times later on. The next, I suppose, little golden nugget would be to put a reminder in your calendar every year around, say, the 6th of April, when the government announces things like national living wage, national minimum wage, etc., where if there are any updates, then that nudge will just, put you in good stead to remind you to update any documents you have. And I think the fourth thing is to contact me.
I think those tips are really, really helpful. I'll definitely be contacting you soon.
Thank you very much.
But also, I think it's really good to have a calendar notice. I know that I have an alarm for everything, and if it's not there, I just don't remember to do it. And with something that
Exactly.
is that important, I think it needs to be done. And then also, who doesn't have a free resource? That's amazing. It's just a lot of people
Exactly.
don't even think, oh, it's having even to look for one. But if they're out there, like use them. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. But just ensure that you go to ACAS, that you update their documentation so that you're not having something that's incorrect.
Well, yeah, that's the next thing. There's so many
Mhm.
things out there. So I suppose you need to know what you're getting is the right thing.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And finally, how can our Voight listeners connect with you if they want help or just a bit of HR clarity?
So, on your website, on the photo website, so first of all my contact details are on there, but also as a Foyt member, you're able to have a 30-minute free conversation with me. So you're able to book a time with me, and if there's something that you want to run through, or just sense check, or just some guidance, use that 30 minutes, and it's amazing what you can cover in that time as well. My website is magentacoreHRsolutions.co.uk, and my LinkedIn is Samantha Newts. So everything is there for you to contact me if someone wanted to have, some clarification or point them in the right direction.
Oh, fantastic. That's been really, really helpful. And I'm sure our listeners have thoroughly enjoyed listening to all that information. And I will let you get on with your day. But thank you very much for joining us. And I hope to be having another chat with you again soon.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sam. Lovely to
Thank you.
speak with
Bye.
you. Bye.
Cheers.